Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Out of the Gray, the podcast where we discuss all things radiation oncology and medical physics. Today, I'm super duper excited to have with me Andrea Zens, our product manager. Andrea, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fabulous. Thank you so much for asking, and I'm so excited to have you joining us today to talk about all the exciting things that are coming down the pike for you.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. There's some great new, exciting news, so I'm happy to share it.
Absolutely. So jumping right into it, but actually before we jump right into it, can you tell me a little bit about your role at SI? What does it mean to be a product manager with Standard Imaging?
It's actually great to be a product manager at Standard Imaging. I've been with the company for over 17 years at this point. Most of that was in our sales department, but I was asked to join the product management team, and it has been really exciting to see the other side, right? From sales, you have the finished product. Now
Right.
I'm involved in getting to a finished product, and there's a lot involved. It's working with a variety of departments, software engineering, hardware engineering, production, customer care. It really encompasses so many aspects of the company in order to get a product released to market. So it's a huge learning curve, but it has been very exciting journey to be on.
It sounds like it. It seems like there's always so much innovation happening, so much growth, and that opportunity to be technologically creative. I know personally you are a very artistic, very creative person, so I'm sure that part of that role has lent itself to some exciting things.
Yeah, when it comes to talking about user interfaces and what it should look like and what information needs to be contained, I'm like, it has to look better. It has to flow easily. There's so many considerations that incorporate customer feedback that are really important to get in there and be that voice of the customer, where we could take an easier route potentially, but it's not good enough. And fighting for the better option, although it may require more work, is actually kind of exciting. It is exciting to do.
It's such important work, and being a clinical person myself, I know that when organizations and individuals within them reach out and take the advice of the folks in the clinic that are actually going to use the devices, it makes the device that much better.
Oh, absolutely. If it weren't for our customers telling us what we need to hear instead of what they think we want to hear, that is vital. That is vital to making the products that are clinically relevant and important to, helping them gain insight into what's going on and giving them the data that they need to keep the machines running, keeping patient treatments safe and effective, and, really helping them gain some clinical efficiencies. How can we do this better and faster? It is really important that we always strive to meet those goals that our customers keep telling us are the most important things that they need in the clinic.
To segue from that into the device that we're so excited that we're talking about today, can you share with us what the device is, and let's start looking at the updates.
So absolutely. One of the products under my purview is our QA StereoChecker for machine QA. It's a device that we developed in tight collaboration with a clinical physicist for CyberKnife QA. How do we get to filmless CyberKnife QA that can be fast and efficient? Because there's inherent issues with film. It is extremely time consuming. It's a consumable that has added costs to clinics every year. So how do we get away from that? So that the StereoChecker is extremely high resolution detector with 0.2 millimeter resolution. So really the highest resolution detector on the market outside of film, in order to perform mainly daily CyberKnife QA, which is a variety of elements which are currently available in the software, and to keep the machines up and running. Because if the machines are running properly, then you know that your patient treatments are going to be successful. And we run all of our QA in clinical mode, so it really does directly translate to how the patient is being treated. Some of the really nice things about our device and our software, and that's the big update, is a complete rewrite of the software to version 2.0, is that people can, one trip into the vault, one setup of the device, and you can perform all of those QA plans, successive, one after the other, and be done in, less than 20 minutes very easily. And it's great. So, we're talking about Accuray has an MLC garden fence test. They have, you want to test your iris apertures. So we test all of those in a single iris batch test. You also have your fixed cones. So we can do a fixed cone analysis. We're talking field width, penumbra, flatness, symmetry, those types of metrics are needed. And then one of the tests that Accuray requires people to do is what they call an AQA test, which is really one shot straight down and one orthogonal. So you're getting the treatment localization system test of the robot, if you will. So we have a patented Panda test, which is actually an enhancement to the AQA test, where we're testing more robot positions in order to be able to give you the inferior, superior, anterior, posterior. I'm missing one, but anyway, and give your overall off positioning accuracy. So that, again, is a patented one. And one of the updates in our 2.0 software is the support of an iris panda, in addition to the fixed panda that we currently support. And those are two different QA plans. So we're actually doing a much more robust test of the robot arm, the treatment localization, because we're testing 10 different robot positions instead of 2, which is really only 1. It's the gantry that's moving. So definitely a more robust test that we offer. And then we also, now CyberKnife is the main focus, that's where it came from, but we also have what we call monthly QA, which is single field analysis tests, which can be performed on both CyberKnife and traditional Linux. And we even have a customer using it on the ZapX system to be able to, again, test field width, penumbra, flatness, and symmetry, and get full inline and crossline profiles for those measurements as well.
It sounds like quite a broad applicability there.
Yep. We're striving to do ever more. And I did forget to mention that we also have a manual QA mode, which is, again, you want a high resolution image that isn't analyzed in the software, but you can acquire an image or even composite up to 10 images and export those as a DICOM file for analysis elsewhere. So if you're trying to do some specific troubleshooting, or you want to do some research, all kinds of applicable things there, you can acquire that high resolution image quickly and easily using our device.
Fantastic news for the folks out there who would see great deal of benefit from implementing a device like the QA StereoChecker 2.0 in their QA repertoire.
Absolutely.
And to that, I'm curious, for those listening who may be wanting those bullet points of the elevator pitch that we like to call it. How is this going to benefit me? What might you say are the top 2 or 3 things that a person, an end user, a team implementing the QA StereoChecker 2.0 might see within the first month of use?
So you can do much more comprehensive QA on your CyberKnife. Remember, it's a stereotactic machine. It's high dose rates, few fractions, maybe even 1 fraction, and getting it right is super important. So again, that machine performance and being able to ensure machine uptime so that you have good patient throughput is important. Just being able to sleep well at night, knowing that your machine is functioning optimally, and being able to perform more comprehensive QA on a daily basis we're talking 5 minutes per test. And most of that time is literally the CyberKnife machine preparing itself to deliver a plan. The plan is, is delivered, the image is acquired, analyzed, saved, trended, and the results are all displayed within a matter of seconds, and it's only one click to do that. So we've really improved the user interface workflow. Select a test, click start, and let it do its magic. The least number of times you have to go into the vault, the better off you are, right? Get your machine warmed up, get your device set up, and you're good to go. That's a nice time savings as well. And because we make the workflow easy, because we make setup easy, it is one of those things that does not necessarily require the physicist to perform, making it easier for a therapist to integrate it into their morning routine means that the physicist can focus on those challenging or problems that really they need to take care of, whereas routine things are done part of the morning routine very efficiently. With the 2.0 upgrades, updates in the software, you also have things like electronic sign-offs. You have more details on some of the tests. So for example, we added an iris panda test. So again, you're testing another collimator, you're testing more robot positions. We've improved the MLC garden fence test from its current sort of quasi quantitative to truly an absolute position test of every leaf. And it's tested according to Accuracy's 4 test criteria, which is mean bank average, percent of leaves passing, and also individual leaf pairs. Are they within the 2 tolerance positions for that according to Accurate? So that's per segment, per leaf, how many positional errors might there be? So we're scoring against all of the Accurate criteria in an absolute position manner. And without having to do any special alignment of the device, without having to go in and readjust the device, any of those things. And the nice thing is when we run an iris batch, typically currently, since the film method is so time consuming that instead of being able to QA all of your iris aperture sizes in every day, people are doing 1 a week or 2 a week, so that by the end of the month, they've tested all 11 clinical irises. Whereas here, again, in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, you have your results for all 11. And then if you want to, get more detail or look at one specific iris instead of the whole batch, you can use the single field analysis available in monthly QA. And because we do not limit the number, like the frequency with which you can perform those tests, you can do any of those tests when it is appropriate to you. It's so fast and so simple. Why not? Why not take advantage of that? Every test metric is automatically trended. You get a graphical display, you get tabular information. It's all there for you to see at any moment. It's very quick. It's very, getting to the trending and looking at things is extremely, extremely easy. And part of the reason that all of this navigation within the software is so easy is because with 2.0, we've also upgraded it to a web browser-based system, like much of our other software is moving towards, like our DoseView 3D or our Max SD for the scintillator use. So it's a browser-based, which makes navigation very quick and easy. We have hyperlinks. We also have upgraded and we provide dashboard overviews, which again, that quick and easy view, what are my results of today? You have a review ticket, it's all there. It passed or failed. A hyperlink to go in and look at details if you need to look at details. Trending, the same type of thing. We have a trending dashboard, and then you can delve in by test into more details of trending. And because we do trending, we have also improved our reporting. Instead of just being able to produce QA session reports, you can actually produce historical reports for a customized date range. We have some preset date ranges, but you can also customize it if you very specifically want to look at, I don't know, 23 days. You can look at 23 days worth of data. So all of those things just add to the wealth of information that is truly at your fingertips, quick and easy, couldn't be faster and easier, and gives you enough information that you can take the next step with your field service engineer if you need to call them in. And by trending all of that stuff automatically, it means that you're going to be aware, because we do alerts and error levels, you're going to be aware if the machine is not performing at optimum and you need to call in that field service engineer. You have a basis for, documenting what has happened on your machine, and they know where to then get to work and look at it and do it outside of clinical hours, again, so that machine uptime is better guaranteed, so you get your patient throughput.
Wow. A great deal of flexibility and a great deal of reassurance when it comes to implementing the QA StereoChecker in the clinical QA portfolio.
It's an important tool in the QA portfolio, especially when you're talking Stereotactic and CyberKnife. They are fabulous machines, but they are complex machines, and things that are mechanical, we all know, our car breaks down. A LINAC a treatment machine can also have mechanical issues, and spotting those early is a very important thing to do.
A great deal of flexibility to be seen there, and quite an asset to any team looking to improve their QA portfolio. I know we have this particular device classified in our monthly family of QA options, but it sounds as though it may very well have a seat on multiple iterations of our QA product families, given the level of flexibility that, and even the you mentioned the opportunity to aid your field support agents with your LINAC, and all of these, quite an array of opportunities to use and gain a great deal of benefit from implementing the StereoChecker.
Yes, and of course, in the future, it's a great device, and we've done, it's taken a lot of work to get where we are today with this great new interface, and lots of efficiency gains, and adding this trending and adding a database. Now we're looking towards, okay, you made all those things great. What's next? So we do have a roadmap for the device, of course. Not a lot that I can share, but expanding the feature set is certainly a priority to us.
Absolutely. And another great segue into the very next question I'm prepared to ask, or preparing to ask, which is, what does the future look like for you and for StereoChecker?
So for me, it's just busy as always. I have lots of things under my purview, not just StereoChecker. And I can't share a whole lot necessarily, but I can say that we have an active development project on the hardware side for StereoChecker right now. Make some handling things a little bit easier, and potentially adding a means to acquire at different gantry angles, acquire tests at different gantry angles. So we're working on that currently. It's early stages yet, so no time frames, don't ask for one. And then of course, software. Once you have software, your customers are very appreciative of what you offer today, but they always have a wish list, which I'm keeping track of. And there are a couple of very high priority items on that as well. And that is to add an MLC Panda test, and then an output, a daily output check, constancy check. Those are the two of the top priorities on that list.
Growth and innovation happening every single day without fail.
Every single day. I just like to end with, to get to release, one of the things we had to do was, of course, do extensive beta testing, since it was a complete rewrite of the software and the user interface. And the I wanted to just share with you that the feedback from that was really amazing and above and beyond what I anticipated, with them saying how much easier it was to use than anything they've really had to use in a hardware software realm. That the quality of the data was excellent. The presentation of the data, exceeded their expectation. And the fact that we do all of the trending is a major upgrade, and a major improvement to them to really get a better understanding of their machine performance. So it was really, it was beyond thrilling to work with beta sites, get their insights, help us find some bugs and get them fixed before release, and have such incredibly good feedback from them from trying our new software.
That's amazing. I know the beta testers do a ton of work, right? These are clinical teams that have daily operations to be concerned with as well, but are also kind enough and generous enough to give their feedback when implementing a project pre-release. A great deal of gratitude owed to those folks willing to kind of hop into that pool of beta testers.
Oh, absolutely. My gratitude towards them is immense. It's patience on both sides, and really some back and forth and troubleshooting, and really interesting to see the results. You wait with bated breath for those first results to come in, and it was great. And sometimes it's like, well, why did this fail? And it's like, because and right away, and you have that answer for them, and they're like, oh, okay. It was good, and really helpful to gain a lot of insight and understanding all the way around. It was great.
Oh, absolutely. It speaks volumes to the amount of effort and the great deal of care that's taken to ensure that products are safe and easy to use and end user approved.
Absolutely.
I love that about it, about the entire process. It's really amazing to see, as again, someone who was clinical in a former life, to see that the great deal of diligence taken to ensure that these products will not only serve a purpose but make life easier. And to expand upon that, once the product is implemented, I always love bragging on our customer support, customer care teams, and our trainers. Amazing resource there.
Oh, absolutely. So when you purchase our StereoChecker, one of the things that is part of that purchase is on-site setup and training. That is one of the things we require with this device, basically because we've got QA plans to create with you. We want to make sure that you have the fastest path to implementation and up and running with the device, and really being able to utilize it on a daily basis. So that is something that we work with. Our customer care team is incredible. And of course, they are there to walk through the various installations, make sure your database is up and connected, making sure that, everything for the installation goes very smoothly for you. So that is something that they really take the charge on, and make sure that customers are up and running, and they do an amazing job. I can't say enough about them. They're great. And they were also part of the process to make sure that their needs were met with the product and the installation process. They gave me great feedback on the user manual, and making sure that there was enough clarity, that it was very easy to walk through the steps and get running and get the test created and run, how do I run a report, or how do I view my trending? All of it's there. All of it's very easily accessible.
Oh, fantastic. It's really an asset, an amazing one for the folks out there looking forward to implementing their StereoCheckers. I know that is a difficulty when you get something new, and expected to kind of ingrain it into your QA culture, so to speak. Having those helping hands and having that intense level of support is such a benefit.
Yeah,
I love that.
I will say that the software is so intuitive. So when you're starting with beta testers, I did not have the user manual completed, right?
Right.
So it's like, you see it, test it. it's brand new. If you see it, you test it. But I gave, as I prepared things, they were sent to them, and here are these instructions and here are those instructions. But they, once we did a few setup, get your panel connected and set up your machine, which is we really limit the number of input fields, so it's as simple as possible. The workflow is so intuitive that they're like, I didn't need much of your user manual, because it's very obvious, daily QA, here's my list of tests, let me go. Here's where I create my baselines. They're done and ready to go. You don't get much easier than click start, right? There's no special import of images, there's no special save button for images, there's no special, I want to trend this metric, or I want to include it is so incredibly simple that they didn't need much instruction beyond a 30-minute phone call.
Ah, fabulous. That's really nice. That's great.
Yeah, it was really nice.
That's nice. If you do need the support, it's there, but in all likelihood, the user interface is simplified and so friendly that it wouldn't be needed in most cases. That's fabulous news. I know, for busy clinical teams. That's great. For those listening who may be interested in learning more about the QA StereoChecker, you could please feel free to visit our website, www.standardimaging.com. You'll be able to find loads of information there about not only what's new, you'll be able to find additional interviews from other products and different events that we've hosted recently, or I've been a part of recently rather, and be able to find the product page for the QA StereoChecker, along with some amazing video content, and reach out to your regional account manager for a quote or to set up a custom demo with Miss Andrea here.
Absolutely. I'm available when needed.
And we certainly appreciate that. A wealth of knowledge. Thank you, Andrea, for everything. Part of a great deal of that, taking time to share with our listeners here about what is up and coming and what's new, and also giving us that tiny little peek into the future. Those are always exciting tidbits to learn about.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Folks, if you're still hanging out with us, we've had an absolute blast enjoying a conversation regarding the recent release of QA StereoChecker 2.0 with product manager of Standard Imaging, Andrea Zens. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. Visit our website, reach out on LinkedIn. We're always happy to chat and set up your custom demo for the QA StereoChecker 2.0. We've had a blast having you with us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much. Have a great week.